Hi YouTube, welcome back to The Root Trees Are Dead. We are going to finish up Root Tree Mania today. We have 20 people locked in so far, and still quite a lot of stuff to figure out. So let's try to remember where we left off here. I may have to start with a hint, but we'll see. Oh, notable events. Start here. There's still something we can get from this. I don't know if we figured out where Jane Doe fits into all of this. She may be, well, she's the red herring, isn't she? Because they've proven that they are not root trees. I think maybe the root tree rift could be where we start today. Okay, the 3 press releases from the Root Tree Candy Company after the release of 6 pieces were referred to as the Root Tree Rift due to the clear conflicts between them. This is where we talk about the Clansid Trust. Okay. Ron, Root Tree, we've placed them. So maybe that's not where we need to start. Go back. We could just look up Root Tree Mania. Oh, this is the Miracle Root Tree debacle. Did I place them already? Yeah, I finished the Miracle Root Tree stuff, except I didn't get his name correct somehow. We'll have to investigate that further. Okay, so we know that Elias is here. That has been confirmed. I don't have a picture of Beth, unless perhaps I do. I probably don't. I feel like if I had a picture of Beth, it'd be in black and white, along with Elias. Let's see. Hi, Angela. Good morning. And did I get all of this figured out? The only one I'm missing is here. The final affair. But I've got this figured out. Attempted affair with Tristan Roberts in the late 70s. We've placed you, so I'll get you out of my notes. Who's Beth? I think that I've gotten all of this figured. We just need it to be black and white in a smoky, dimly lit room. Exactly. The sultry detective music is so good. Hi, Kat. Good morning. Yes, Turtle gets it. Absolutely. The final affair would have probably happened during this time. Susan Ford, office staff. Angela Ingram, Linda Lewis, Catherine Garrett are no longer employed by Root Tree. From here on out, no secretaries are directly employed by Root Tree, instead using a temp agency. No connection. That's fine. Maybe we should look up all of these ladies, these lovely ladies, just to see if anything comes up. No. What about Susan Ford? No. Ernest Matson Jr. no longer works in this department. Sam Madsen is no longer employed by Roottree. Guy Hudson died in May of 1982. Bless you, Mr. Goose. Bless you. So the first few months of that year continued along the same pattern they had been. Okay, so maybe we're looking more in this area. Did y'all see the teaser trailer for Spider Noir starring Nick Cage? No, I didn't see that. Maybe Catherine Garrett? I think I've already looked her up, and there was nothing. Lisa Lewis. Valerie Ewing. Are Lisa and Linda related? Schwartz. A few articles from local news stations in Pennsylvania. Some of the people attempting to track down Anonymom were harassing her. She recently had to take a leave of absence because people showed up at the car dealership where she worked. She is begging people to stop the accusations so that she can get back to normal life. In every article you find, the journalists involved have independently verified that she is not Anonymom. Okay. Interesting. Interpreter. I feel like maybe it's Susan Ford. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Susan Ford has been moved to office staff. Where was she before? Susan Ford was hired under a special category that only existed for 1 year. Okay. Apparently there's something we can get from this. Who is this talking about? He was the president, right? Do you know why he never released it himself? He sent his mistress Susie something into the bathroom to proposition me. Poor girl, I remember her from our trips overseas. Susan Ford. She was too good for him. Anyways, he died soon after. I think it's Susan Ford. But how do we find information about Susan? Well, I was gonna put interpreter, but that doesn't seem to be an option. Do I have a photo of Susan? Could this be Susan? We do know that people in the background can be mighty suspicious. It's possible. Where would I find something about this? Doo-doo-doo-doo. Susan Ford has been moved to office staff. And then no longer employed. So, what does office staff involve? She could be anything. I mean, office staff and secretary are listed under two different things. So I don't think she was a secretary. Interesting. Okay. We gotta find out more information about Susan. Reminders. Oh, they did give me this. Okay, dead ends and red herrings. (1968). This was the death of Elias Roottree. I'm gonna have to start highlighting things, I think, because I think it's gonna be in like the very fine print, like just the middle of a sentence, a random drop of information, just like Susie something. So I feel like it's gonna be really subtle. Okay. This is all about Guy, Elias and Gwyneth. Who's Beth? Once had a secretary named Elizabeth, but she never met her. Okay. This is tough. Bess Williams? I don't think I need to look her up. The dictionary defines propaganda as information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. But if they were to replace that definition with a picture, it would be a picture of this book. So this doesn't really give us anything, perhaps. Okay. We know about... I wish we could, like, file the things away that are not important. Let's see what the hint system gives us. You should look into large expenses in the company records. Okie dokie. Let's do. Let's start at this one. Ho! Oh! Oh, yes, that is a large. That is large. Grandor School for the Deaf. Located about an hour from where the Roottree offices used to be in Butler County. Okay, so it's Butler County. I can look it up in the newspaper. According to their website, it was formerly named Grandorf Dove, because Grandorf was the last name of the founder, and Dove is the Danish word for deaf. So close to that high score, Owen. The founder had issues with government translators, leading to an odd transcription issue. Miss Ford. She's an interpreter. Miss Ford is fluent in 5 languages, including ASL. She has been working at the school for over 15 years. Oh, principal. Miss Ford's bio also mentions she's not deaf herself, but rather learns sign language to communicate with the deaf. It mentions that she was responsible for securing the funding of the Hudson Wing. Okay, Miss Ford. Okay, Miss Ford. Principal? I think that is her, but not sure, not positive. Okay, so that gives us a little bit something. Let's check out Butler County Times, Grandorf. Okay, this is essentially the same information that we just got. Endless list of snow cancellations, extracurricular activities, and weekend events. Amongst the avalanche of useless information, you almost miraculously discover one useful article. When I first opened this part of the game and saw like 5 affairs, I was like, bro, this man sucks. I know. I was like, dang, he really gets around. Grandorf was at the center of a crime article from 1982. It seems that someone defaced the school and vehicles outside of the brand new Hudson Wing of the school. Accusations of infidelity. There was one arrest, Thomas Hughes, who was coincidentally a former student at the school. Apparently, the destruction came weeks after he married the school's newest teacher, Mrs. Hughes. She was not a teacher when he went. He graduated a few years earlier. When did this happen? 1982. So could her name be... Okay. According to the reporter's investigation into the police reports, trials, and restraining orders, Mr. Hughes was convinced that he was not the father of Mrs. Hughes' current pregnancy. He was released on bail, and the school has agreed not to press criminal charges after an agreement was made to pay for the damages and for the couple to begin the divorce proceedings. It seems Thomas Hughes, Mrs. Hughes, and the Hudson Wing have all avoided further appearances in the Butler County Times. Okay. So maybe he is the former husband. Hudson Wing. Okay, mentions that she learned ASL from the main school before the Hudson Wing even existed, to surprise her future husband, who was deaf. After realizing how useful a service like this could be to non-deaf people that wished to better serve those with hearing issues, she convinced Rootree management to invest in the school. The Hudson Wing opened and she became the first teacher at the new campus. At first, it only operated on weekends, but since then it has added afternoon classes on some weekdays. It's the game with the hottest tea ever in game history. That is what we're learning, Anya. Welcome in. Good to see you. Yes, I do in fact believe that this is Thomas Hughes. So, can we look up Susan Hughes? Susie? I mean, that's gotta be it. And look for more recent news about the Grandorf. I mean, I did that. The school has changed its name. Maybe... Ah! Yes! Okay. Ford sisters, 1999, who attended public school in Butler County and are one of only a handful of identical twins in the world who suffer from 2 different genetic issues. One of them has asthma, the other has a deadly allergy to peanuts. Their mother, a Miss Susie Ford, who is principal at the nearby Grandorf School for the Deaf, was originally contacted by researchers looking to identify if there were any sets of twins where one was born deaf and the other was not. Melissa and Heather. We're getting somewhere. Rolling. This game is basically a visual of that one family meetup where you're finally old enough to sit at the adult table and get all the family goss spanning the past 50 years. Yeah, true. Okay, let's check out this pic. The twin on the left is holding an inhaler and the twin on the right is holding an EpiPen. Okay, so which is which? They couldn't be more different. My youngest, we all call her that, even though it's only about by 15 minutes, is shy, but has recently stopped running from the moment she learned to scamper. Hasn't stopped running from the moment she learned to scamper. Asthma has kept her sister off the soccer field, but she's the definition of extrovert and is even performing in the local production of Is There Life After High School. Okay, so... we have to figure out which one is younger. Can I just look up Melissa Ford? How about Heather Ford? Is there life after high school? I was hoping there would be like a picture, a newspaper article. After high school. Anyways, the keyword in the Butler County Times article was local. Okay, thanks. The game calling me out. Okay, so we know that... let's go back for a second. Here. My youngest is the one with the peanut allergy. This one is the youngest. They're both going to be students in high school, I'm assuming. Why don't we just guess? Why don't we just guess? Okay, so assuming that's correct, we can move over here. I'm confused about why I don't have his name correct, but that's not that important. What's my hint saying? I can fill in the daughters. Heather, oh, Heather acted in the school play. They're, okay. I, for some reason, totally missed that. Okay. Bess Williams. Oh, okay. For some reason, I was like, this is a red herring. I don't need to look that up, but I guess I do. Printing Library 01 no longer exists. Okay, one of the exhibits is their courtyard, which includes a fountain as well as a statue of an unknown author. The picture has been added to your evidence. Another is a printing press that was used by the Miami Sunday, a now defunct weekly newspaper. The last is the original print of Cuba by Cubans. Can I look this up? Okay. Can I look this up? Credited to Marcia Barbin. Okay, Cuba by Cubans. It doesn't, okay, it's not related. I know, whenever you hear the printing sound, it's like, I finally did it! It feels really good. Is there anything else in here that I need? Probably not at this moment. Let's check out this. Okay. What am I meant to learn here? Miami Print Museum. Unknown author. Why is that important? North of Miami. That's confusing. You want information on events before the merger. Oh, the Miami Mercury. Okay, I see. Never, ever would have thought to do that. Thank God for the hint system. I would not survive. Discovered every periodical. Woo! Okay. So now... Mentions that Bess's young son, now an orphan, was in attendance during the dedication. It also had a later mention from 1949, the last year the paper existed, about a bidding war for a planned expansion of the library in 1950. The bidding was won by Wildcat Construction and included a new fountain, a new statue fountain and second room that would double its shelf count. Okay. Frank Wildcat Williams left Florida in 1941, a construction worker, and returned a hero. He won the Navy Cross for his bravery and sacrifice, having carried a fellow soldier to safety under heavy Nazi fire. Now he and his wife Ophelia are carrying his fellow soldiers through tough times at home. Wildcat Construction is Frank's company, focused on creating opportunities for soldiers finding difficulty getting back to normal. Ophelia has handled outreach to the wives of the local veterans, who are often able to provide insight into their husbands' needs and conditions. Okay. The problem for them is that essentially Frank has a selective monopoly, but any attempt to circumvent it has caused an uproar and accusations of being un-American. It's certain what will become of Wildcat Construction It is uncertain what will become of Wildcat Construction, but at least for now we're rooting for them. Okay. Died in 1996. An anecdote mentions that he used to insist he married his wife Ophelia as a matter of courtesy and convenience. She wouldn't have had to change her last name. According to the article, he is survived by Ophelia as well as his daughters Barb and Sharon Williams. He was juggling hammers on a construction site. Okay, Frank. That's cool. Interesting. When was this? He died in 1996. That's not what I meant to do. Team Frank. When did this happen? 1949. Do we think that... Wow, this is really interesting. Oh, John Doe is just filled out already for us. I didn't even notice that. I need a hint. A child who was orphaned and worked closely with Elias. Bess Williams is an author. So they're saying that this is Bess. And maybe that the statue is her. Is that what they're saying? Girl, I don't know. You can now fill in Frank on the tree. Okay, so this must be Frank. I think I'm tracking. Whoops. Whoopsie. Frank Williams. This is Ophelia. Oh, Ophelia. She didn't have to change her last name, but I'm putting that there for now. Okay, so these two are both... guardian of this one? And this is their child. Frank's last name is Williams and is an orphan. Bess Williams mothered an orphan. Oh, so Frank does go here. Wow, I'm so confused on the timelines here. Okay, so get this out of here. And Bess is not here. I do still think that this is Beth. A secretary. I think I said Knox. This could possibly be Bess Williams. What was she? Author. Is that correct? If it gives me a different hint, I assume... Oh, Wait, what? So I was right about this originally. I'm so confused. Okay. Back to this. So I was right about him being here. Something about the way that was worded was really confusing to me. I don't know why. Construction. I think, oh, I put in architect and not construction. That's why. That's why I didn't confirm it. Okay, sleigh. I got Susan. And Thomas. Okay, so now let's get rid of all this mess. Because that's not correct anymore. Never was. This is Ophelia. Don't know her last name. The jump scare for the lock-ins? Okay. Where? Okay, Barb and Sharon are his daughters. Let's start with Ophelia, then Barb, Slay. Okay, really didn't expect that to give me anything. And Sharon. Nothing for Sharon, but we do have Barb. What's up, girl? This flyer includes 3 different testimonials. Look at how many things we can get from this. From Greta Jones, Vic Elmsworth, and Isabel Crosby, Superintendent of Benton County. Especially about still putting stuff in, I know. Let's go with this. You may need to do a deeper dive on a specific city and state to see if any locals have discussed the news in that area. Effingham County. One is in Georgia, one is Illinois. You'll probably need to append a state name to your search. Springfield is the capital. Okay. It's not located in, okay. Okay, Georgia. So Springfield, Georgia. When you refine your search to television in and around Springfield, Georgia, you come across a website that lists different channels available there. Channel 12. What's the thing called? That's not what I wanted to do. Why is this? Let's start here, I guess. We'll come back to that. Kikkiwa Falls Gazette, Southeastern United States. Okay, according to Victor, who's Victor? Oh, Victor Elmsworth. Okay. Is apparently one of 3 brothers, all of them contributors to The Gazette. Long form review for Barb Williams' motivational show. Oh, Victor the guy from Deadly Device. Exactly. Her conclusion was that finding the hidden meanings in tragedy is the most important thing we can do. She used multiple biblical comparisons and finished by looping back around to her initial story and how she personally began to come around to this ideology. The biker who died was her son-in-law, and the Lanes Across America charity was created to fill the newfound darkness her daughter experienced. The charity was the light that began to fill the void, and she was doing everything she could to help nurture it. After the death of Drew Smith. Okay. And let's remind me. It was Barb's son-in-law, so her sister's. Wait. Her sister's son? No. That's not how that works. Son-in-law. Man who married her daughter. Yes, okay. I don't know why that was so difficult. So this is gonna be Barb because she has had kids. Barbara Williams. Motivational speaker, televangelist. What do you call yourself? Public speaker? Let's look this up. Chris Elmsworth. That's new. Okay. Mermaids strike back against lobster farms. I'm dead at that. That's so funny. Okay, Drew Smith. Photo of Drew. Okay. Where's that? Here. His wife's a blonde. The rest of the wedding party is cropped out. Okay. What else can I find here? Isabel Crosby. Benton County. Superintendent of Benton County. 9 different states. There hasn't been a Benton County in Florida since 1850, so you're not sure which one Isabel comes from. Isabel Crosby. It didn't give me any like state options, so I guess maybe that's not important. Searching for Isabel Crosby doesn't lead to anything that seems to fit what you're looking for. Okay. Loki is one of my faves. Greta Jones. Too common of a name. Okay, we tried to get somewhere with this. Let's see if we can get a hint about this. Oh, abbreviation. Didn't know that would be useful. Okay. Miami. Okay, give me more. Give me more. Charity began in Miami. Yeah. Okay, maybe if I do... Hiring Nancy because he thinks she sucks. I know. Formerly Lamb. Oh, I see. Lanes across Miami. Got it. Got it. Oh, this is a lot. Founded by Sharon Smith after the death of her husband. Okay. Wait. Am I messing this up? Maybe this is Barb. Oh, she wasn't blonde. That was her veil. Okay. This is probably Barb. Who knows who this guy is, but he's probably important. Let's go back to the internet. Okay. One of the oldest articles has a full uncropped version of the same wedding photo. Seems that after Sharon left, they began to crop her and the rest of the wedding party out of the photo to focus solely on Drew. Okay. What you got for me? You have a new name for Greta Jones. Thanks to Springfield, Georgia results. What? Greta Flores. Oh, I totally missed that. Before her divorce. Stories of Sisterhood, the Mothers and Daughters of Earth. Seems more of the stories were compiled into a book titled The 25 Stories of Sisterhood by Ayla Hale. Great! One of the stories by Barb Williams has been added to your evidence. Oh, that's a lot of words. My sister Sherry was a brat. Perfect. Give me more by Britney Spears. My daughter Sharon, on the other hand, wait. The first part of her story focuses on two 16-year-old girls. My sister Sherry was a brat. Blah, blah, blah. My daughter Sharon, on the other hand, was a beautiful person. What's the difference between Sherry the brat and Sharon the beauty? Is it nature, nurture, a better education? The answer is nothing. There was no difference because my sister and my daughter are the same girl. What? Barb reveals that her daughter was the result of an unexpected pregnancy when she was only 15. I met a boy at a county fair. Unlike us, he lived in a nice part of town. Is he John Doe? Is that what's going on here? He hadn't even given me his real last name. My parents took charge. I had to live at home and work a part-time job, but they removed the burden of motherhood. I managed to scrape out a degree in English. As far as my daughter was concerned, I was her much older sister. When I was younger, I thought my sister was the brat, and I wasn't wrong. But she ran away from home to work at the animal shelter. She borrowed my clothes for presentations at school, and her creativity always allowed her to open up Sherry's hair. It took me far too long to realize the beauty was always there too. In fact, the brat and the beauty exist in all of us. It was my inner brat that kept me blind to the truth, and I'd like to say it's the beauty in me that's finally able to see what I was missing. Okay, that's complicated. Sherry Yastrzyzimski. About Sherry, her husband Pete was her late husband's college roommate. She and he had never spent any significant time together until she became a widow, and they built a charity together. Her kids, Tony, Mark, and Cricket. Oh my god. This is the messiest part of the entire thing. I'm shook. How do I even put this in here? How do I even put this in here? Okay, this has to be Barb, right? Barbara. And I do have her name right? Yeah, Barb Williams. So this has to be Sherry? I don't freaking know, dude. That last name. Hair. Cosmetologist. Hair. Dresser. Drew Smith. And this must be him. And what is his name? Tony? No, Tony's the oldest. Her husband Pete was her late husband's college roommate. Okay. And her kids. Her oldest is Tony. Mark and Cricket. Cricket is near the end. Okay, could his name be Pete York? Pete York? Peter? Cricket. There we go. Does it say anything about your father? Library. Where's Dexter Egan? Okay. Cricket and Pooftail. She's cute. I mean, come on, she's cute. That's gotta be her. Cricket York. This is gonna be Peter York. Gotta be. And then this is Tony. Maybe Anthony? Tony. What else would be Tony? I feel like it's gotta be Anthony, right? Who else? Mark Smith, I would assume, is his last name. Let's return to Sherry's hair. Mark, on the other hand, has multiple baseball accomplishments listed. His Little League team is nationally recognized. So if I search... Let's start here, because I can't spell that myself. Mark Smith. Nope. Her oldest, Tony, seems to get the short end of the stick. His two listed accomplishments are that he's the oldest and he's a straight A student. Sorry, Tony. Multiple baseball accomplishments. An actress on a local television show. Okay, so that's her. Her profession, I guess. Changed her last name to York. The rest of the section describes how she got the part, but it's unimportant. Okay, so that probably means... That probably means that the rest of the kids have this last name. Where are they at? They're in Miami. Or were in Miami. So let's try... Mark in the Miami Mercury, Norton, Butler County. I guess not. I thought that would help me. Thought that would help me out. From Miami to Orlando. Could I look up Miami Little League? Baseball. No. So that's not gonna work. Alright, let's go back here then. Manufacturers like... Nobody associated with this seems to be related to your search. Okay, what about this one? Perfect. Cricket and her brothers ready to learn from one of our talented tutors. So I get a second photo of Cricket. There's Tony. There's Mark. Okay. Perfect student, it says. Okay. So all that really did is give me photos. Deeply unsettled by the company's logo. Honestly, me too. What else can I find? Not much. I have enough information to fill out her... Okay, I thought I did that. Sharon Williams is a hairdresser. Okay, so I just didn't get her last name right. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, does that mean that his last name is the weird one? I say weird. That sounds offensive. The one that's hard to say. Maybe, possibly? What's his name? Peter? I mean, he doesn't come up in a search, but perhaps. And then... would you be going with this last name? I don't know. I don't know how that works. Let's put you in as a student for now. Just because we have young pictures of you. I feel like the closest thing to Tony is Anthony. So we're gonna go with that. Let's try maybe Williams. I'm really not sure what last name they're going to be using. Her married... Okay. So this is her last name. Okay. Got it. And I got the other two correct. Awesome. Locked in possible infidelity 1. Yeah. Did we get them all?
Hi again. I know you probably thought you were done. But it turns out what you're doing here might have some pretty major repercussions on the family tree.
Okay.
Again. Also, there's something really strange happening. I can't explain it.
Neither of us can.
I'd call it a simple misunderstanding,
Again.
but it's digging at the pit of my stomach. I just have a feeling. Clark?
Last week, let's just say being the president, sometimes people bring me things.
Like what, Clark?
Just skip to the important part.
Right. One of our janitors brought me some hair she'd found in Ruby Spratt's trash.
Huh?
It was Bonnie Hudson's.
Why did he bring you that?
Bonnie is Guy's sister. She'd sent us her hair to test potential root trees, since her DNA is closest to Guy's. But Ruby threw it out, and I wasn't sure why she would have done that. Especially right before we began testing the tree you provided.
Sorry, who's Ruby?
When I asked, she told me she thought the samples needed to be fresh every time they did a test.
It seems really odd. Ruby was the one who convinced us to do DNA
A
testing in
peace
the first
offering.
place. She seemed
Ruby
so
is the lawyer.
knowledgeable.
Oh.
I don't like it.
Oh.
You've done more of a deep dive on these people than anybody else has. Clark will keep a closer eye on the DNA tests from now on.
Okay.
You have an eye for anomalies. We need you to find the smoking guns.
Well, it's Ruby.
If there's anyone you're 100% positive can't be a root tree,
or any you've got definitive evidence are root trees, then we might be able to catch Ruby in a lie.
Okay, so what does that mean for... Okay, so we've opened up inconsistencies. Filling in this person is optional. Filling in this person is optional. Now's the time to review all possible root trees and input your deductions. You'll then be able to end your search and reveal the truth. You have 13 possible root trees left to identify. You have unseen evidence. You should look through that first. Okay, they're hoping that with your evidence and understanding of the family tree, you could verify which people in the dotted boxes are almost certainly legitimate root trees, very unlikely to be legitimate root trees, and which of them are too ambiguous to make a decision one way or the other. Additionally, with the suspicion of Ruby Spratt, it's possible that some of her behaviors in the past have also been cast into doubt. A new section of the tree. Okay. Could Ruby be anonymous? Relatively elusive. Okay. Hometown of Portland. Local teen making change for foster care system. Grew up in the foster care system. Foster fountain. The fountain has a few small pedestals that stick up high above the water. People are expected to toss coins into the fountain for good luck, and will be encouraged to aim for the top of the pedestals. All the coins scraped from the bottom are slated to be donated to Portland's foster care system. Gold award. She was a Girl Scout. Thought I would check. Thought I would try. The Fountain of Youths. News time cares about respecting people's privacy, but that can't be said of everyone. Oh. Let's just go through all of these really quick. It's not going to be in that one, but I'm checking. I'm not leaving any stone unturned. We've seen this. Not afraid to expose details that other publications would avoid. Shortly after the announcement of that Jane Doe rootree was not a rootree, Piketty exposed personal details about the story of Anonymom under the headline Anonymom the Anonicon. Worked as a manager at a department store in North Carolina. Her daughter's name was Courtney May. They also said the woman that vouched for her famous cover story that the woman vouched for is named Corinne S. And that she filed for bankruptcy. We know Corinne. She was a secretary. Okay. That vouched for her famous cover story is named Corinne S. The article speculates that Anonymom and Corinne were in on it together and even speculates that they might have been lovers. Okay. North Carolina. Corinne S. is involved. What is Corinne's last name? Corinne Schwartz. Oops. Wrong place. Edit. Okay. So, saying that you are involved with Guy. We gotta know more about Corinne Schwartz. She has filed for bankruptcy. Real quick, I'm just gonna go through the rest of these. Just see if I can grab anything else. I would imagine that's the only important one, but just in case. Yeah, okay, back to this. Courtney May. They didn't identify news time, perhaps to avoid being sued. Imagine if Ruby was such a big lawyer that gossip magazines wrote about her. I know. Ruby, Sprat. I don't really need to look her up again. Corinne Schwartz. Some of the people attempting to track down Anonymom are harassing her, so she's claiming that she's being harassed. She is not Anonymom, but she's involved with her. Allegedly. And we are in Philadelphia? Where? Pennsylvania. Where's Butler County? That's in Pennsylvania, isn't it? Okay. What do you have to say about this? Oh. Wait. By combining the information from the Piketty article and the company records, you can piece together Jane Doe's real name as well. However, you don't have a picture of her. Wait. So is Corinne anonymous? And she's just using this as like a cover story? That could be possible. She was a secretary. Oh, Beatrice, though. Beatrice Watts could be anonymous. Not this. Not that. I don't think she'll come up anywhere. But it would make sense if they were let go around the same time, and then they wanted to work together. Oh, Linda and Lisa. Is Linda perhaps... Lisa wouldn't be Linda's daughter, right? I don't think so. You're not gonna give me anything else, are you? Maybe she has a presence on the internet. Oh, Courtney May Watts. Oh. Right, because we have the daughter's name. Courtney May has a simple website with black text on a white background and a few images. From the view counter, you can tell you're one of only a few hundred people who has visited it. She's not shy about claiming she is Roottree, Jane Doe Roottree. As proof, she has posted an unobscured cover from the time she was featured on Newstime, as well as a different picture of herself that appears to be a wedding photo. The website seems to be created in defense of her mother. Under the headline, The True Story of Jane Doe Roottree, courtesy of Courtney May Newton, formerly Watts, Courtney May writes, "Everyone has everything wrong. My mom approached the Roottrees before Five Piece was ever on the cover of Newstime. Nobody at the Roottree Company took us seriously. They only listened to us after we appeared on TV and in magazines." The site has a scanned letter from the Ruby legal group to Courtney May's mother, Beatrice, in very polite legal terms. It seems to accuse her of exploiting their name and orders her to leave the Roottrees alone. It's dated from a few weeks before the Five-Piece article appeared in Newstime, and it seems legitimate. Do you know how difficult it was to convince anyone to tell her story? My mom didn't want to show her face because everyone in the media we approached assumed she was lying because her story was just like Five Pieces, but my mom's story was first. Mom was advised by Ryan and Cork to tell Newstime that seeing Five Piece on the cover was what inspired her to go public. That's the only way Newstime would agree to it and help her get on TV, but it's not true. Our story was first. My mom is amazing. She's the nicest person in the world. She has diabetes and works at a department store, ding ding ding, but still managed to help pay for my apartment in the big city so that I could stay with my high school sweetheart. I got a degree in nursing, so I learned about DNA in college, but I'm beginning to think it's all a lie. Mom is 100% confident that there's nobody else who could be the father. Either they did the test wrong or DNA is complete BS. She is not a liar. Okay, so Courtney May Watts. What's her married name? Newton. Daughter of Beatrice Watts. Okay, and we have new evidence. Courtney May Watts posted this to prove her identity. Okay. And Danny. Okay. Probably Daniel, but we'll keep Danny. Here is the unobscured photo. Okay. So this is Beatrice Watts. Beatrice. Hello, what's her name? Courtney May. And she is... I've already forgotten what her... Daniel... Newton? There's a picture of you. Okay. Worked at a department store. I got a degree in nursing. Nurse. I guess cashier or retail, maybe? Retail. Oh, wow. Okay. Found 5 out of 6 smoking guns. You haven't found this clue yet. What is the clue that I'm missing? Printing DNA PDF. Winston, Ryan, and Gregory Cork. The test says there was virtually no chance that a non-mom's daughter, Courtney May, was a root tree. It lists that DNA from a Jane Doe was tested against the DNA of Bonnie Kellogg. Ryan and Cork, who were representing a non-mom, have confirmed that the sample they sent was definitely Courtney May's hair. Dynatico. Oh wow, this is a lot. Whenever they take a sample in person, they put the name of the person on the test according to their legal ID, which is why it says David instead of Felix. Because Guy Hudson is dead, there's no known DNA source for Guy. They tested Felix's hair versus a hair sample sent from the root trees. It's listed as Jane Doe because it wasn't collected in person, but the root tree company let them know this was from Bonnie Kellogg. This is why it says it is a paternal aunt test. The left and right sets of numbers are essentially signatures that perfectly match the DNA of the two people in question and nobody else. The way the test works is that if certain parts of the signature are shared, then it's very likely the two people are related. Example DNA test. Dynatico is a neutral third party. The site says there's a 99% chance David Fellows is related to the alleged aunt, who is listed as Jane Doe. Okay. Adrian Rowland. Did I spell that right? Yeah, I did. If you want to be sure Mary Beth's children are root trees, you're going to have to do some digging. Mary Beth visited Butler County. Oh. It is Luce. Hello, Holiday, welcome in. We are digging up some dirt right now. Okay, so they're saying mayhaps. Where is Mary Beth? Mayhaps this situation is not. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. This is so much. Nate, hello. Welcome in, world traveler. It is the sun. Nate is the sun. This is so much. I fear that I will not be getting all of this correct. There's a major part of me that's like, this is really suspicious. I think that you're a root tree. There's a clue that I haven't found about Mark, Clementine. Strasbourg. Realized I'd be able to tune in. Yay! It's not very consequential if you get it all wrong or all right or partially, if that helps. That does help. I do want to dig up as much as I can. Okay, so I found everything on you. That's interesting. So does that mean... Oh, interesting. It also mentions that the unusual circumstances of her second son's adoption have prevented her from touring recently, but doesn't clarify. Okay. Miracle Congregation welcomes Mary Beth Clementine with open arms. My family's fortune does me no good as a man of the Lord. It's much better spent spreading his word, and I felt a kinship with Mary Beth ever since I heard her voice. When I learned her personal story, I knew I had to help her in whatever way I could. The Bible is full of adoptions, from Moses to Esther. Spending your life taking care of those helpless to help themselves is incredibly noble. She and her son are welcome to stay in our guest home. The game has introduced a new system. Yes. Yes. We are now tasked with deciding if these affairs actually did produce legitimate root tree blood relatives. I'm kind of wondering if this situation was falsified. Because of how similar it was to the Octomom. Boy. This sure is tough. They're wanting me to search for Edith Jacobson. This is related to someone over here, I believe. Butler County Times. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. Wait, does that mean, am I going up here? I could be taking them out of the tree. Wait! This is too much. Dirty Devil. Okay. Yes, I can jump. White men can't jump. Oh, a movie. Okay. Some take this to mean that the album had to have been released in 1994 at the latest. Others claim that he was likely just trying to make himself sound older, since in response to some of his more questionable lyrics, he has stated multiple times that he was just a dumb kid when it was released. So there's some questionable history trying to decide when his actual birth year was, how old he is. Okay. Where was I? Oh, birthday. Birthday. '17 magazine. I know about that. I know about that. He brought the chickens on stream during Phantom of Venice, I think. 2 weeks ago? Very briefly. Whoa, 5% silly. It's just chicken. Exclamation chicken. Okay, number 17, mostly violent. 17th birthday. Jeffrey Dahmer. What are we doing talking about Jeffrey Dahmer? I know I'm using the hint system a lot, but truly, it has just gotten harder and harder to figure this game out. So I need it. I need it. As usual, not even 50% Goose. That's crazy. I think, Holiday, you might have the highest chicken score today so far. You may be Queen Chicken. You might be Queen Chicken. Anya, 4%. That is devastating. 69%. Nate, you're the Queen Chicken right now. Nice. Okay. I actually approached the roottrees sometime in late March after the roottree rift, but well before roottree mania. Ruby is now in charge of many financial aspects of the company, including verifying any claims to the trust and organizing the various charitable causes such as scholarships that have been set up in the name of the deceased. Was a student at an institution that we've seen before. Obviously, Ruby's going to benefit from this in some way, and that's why she's like messing with the DNA results. Her valedictorian speech was somewhat controversial at the time as it was quite serious, with a heavy focus on wealth inequality. That didn't go over well with the predominantly middle to upper class audience in attendance. Ruby, unsatisfied by simply earning her place at Midwestern with a full scholarship, went on to earn a captive audience of her peers with a perfect GPA. It felt like the ideal occasion for a celebration of an undoubtedly incredible individual. However, by the end of her by the end of her speech, there were many in the audience that wished that neither of those events had transpired. It was a passionate attempt to use her soapbox to proselytize her fellow students and their parents into the religion of poverty. But unfortunately, judging by the silence, they remain unconverted. Okay. Oh, I should have looked this up earlier. I was thinking about it, and then I didn't. Oh, Dirty Davy. Yeah, I am no goose, but I am a chicken. And you know what? That's pretty good. There are so many threads. I almost just want to guess. Like, fully guess and see if I can just get it correct by guessing. Because at this point, I'm getting, like, reading comprehension fatigue. And I feel like I'm not actually, like, holding on to any of this information. I want to say, no, you're not a roottree. Because I feel like she's falsifying... results. In DNA tests, I think that it's more likely that you are a roottree. I don't really have any suspicions. Well, I kind of had a suspicion here and here. How would y'all feel if I just went through and guessed and we maybe potentially saw if I was correct? Does it tell you where you're right and where you're wrong? YOLO. That's how I'm feeling. Making sure I have... Who are you? Oh, that is you, isn't it? This feels a little sus to me. But I feel like it's inconclusive. You feel more likely to be related to Miracle Roottree. Because there's like suspicion around adoption and whatnot, and guardianship. Maybe if it's in French, you'll get a higher score. That's an idea. I don't know, guys. I'm fully guessing here. For some reason... say inconclusive. I feel like he specifically has a type. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that. I was gonna say, I feel like if I'm going based on my assumptions and that she is the true affair partner during this time period, I would say that his type is single women because she wasn't married at this time. And neither was she, and well, she was married also. So I think that I take that back. Because I feel like these are true. I feel like they are both relatives. I feel questionable about you for some reason. Not particularly helpful. Shocker. Oh. Is this going to be about DNA? Huge controversy. Medical facilities, IVF. They'd fly their clients to America where they would stay for an extended period of time, then return to China with the news of successful IVF pregnancy. The whistleblower apparently presented the Department of Health and Human Services with credible evidence. Sometimes claimed that they performed IVF when they did not. This would often be used as an excuse for an otherwise unexplainable pregnancy. Oh. So maybe this is true facts. True facts. What about you? Okay, the journalist claimed that this was to shut down a story he was doing about her personal life, including that her marriage in 1973 was not of her own choice. His research claimed that she essentially had her husband forced upon her as a child bride at the age of 15. The final claim was that she must have made her money under the table through nefarious and possibly illegal means during Brazil's dictatorship. Okay. I'm thinking blood relative. I'm still questionable about that. Let's come up here for a sec. Released from French prison after serving a few years for assault. He has not yet returned to the United States, but when journalists reached out to him recently about the death of his mother, he had issued a blanket statement. The death of my mother was hard on our family. My brother and I, after spending time together caring for her and mourning, have finally made amends. It was highly transformative when it came to our relationship. I'm in recovery for my addiction. Thanks for the pets. I will give them pets. She died in Paris about 3 weeks ago. Her largest role in Guys Like Us. She was 67. Harrison Lane. You should look into the other actors. feel like Harrison Lane is one that we've seen before, specifically. Seems to be a dead end. The other actress. What does it want me to see? Wild Bill Williams. Oh, perhaps Wild Bill Williams had an affair. Fortune favors the grave. Did not make an appearance at her funeral. Because of his absence, there were rumors that he must have already died. He's in his 70s, still lives in Paris, perfectly fine health. The few years I spent with Gwen were just one stop along the very long and complicated journey that has been my life and career. She asked me to never contact her or the kids again. They never reached out to me either, even as adults. So I have to assume they have some idea of why she hated me so much and the sacrifices she made on my behalf. What if he cheated and the boys are not Gwen's kids? I wish them well and I'm sorry for their loss. We've been strangers for 40 years. The Laugh Lounge. Huntington's disease. RR Productions. Guys Like Us remake. Movie news. Cameron Diaz in the role originated by Gwen. We support her even more if she isn't our biological. Movie news is cute, I agree. Is it Huntington's genetic? I don't know. I don't know anything about Huntington's. I can't even say it well. Oh, they're saying, 2 mentions of Huntington's disease. Okay. Because it says, the remake has been put on indefinite hiatus due to its director, who's speculated to be Ron Roottree, dropping out in the wake of a serious medical issue. Okay, so it sounds like they are root trees if they're experiencing Huntington's. Unless multiple affairs. There's nothing wrong with Cornwall, but Roottree has power. Oh, we found all the smoking guns, apparently. Walter Forsythe. I think that's what we're assuming, but I also didn't read it very closely, so it could have said specifically and I just skimmed over it. due to multiple affairs, including one with another actress. Okay, now we're off of them. So I think if we go back, update on Gwen. Not much is known about her death except that it was announced that she died peacefully in her sleep while being treated for a sudden severe case of pneumonia. Before that, she had apparently been in relatively good health according to her friends and family in Paris. Wild Bill. He's in perfectly fine health. Leslie Florence. She died of Huntington's. Okay. So, this is the tea. This is the tea. Leslie Florence has Huntington's. One of the boys has Huntington's, implying that she is actually their mother. I think that's definitely true of him, not a rootree. I would imagine both of them are not roottrees. Okay. So what are we on next? His first name is mentioned in Mary Beth Clementine. I think that I've already seen this, and I think that it's Sterling. Was I supposed to spider search it? Probably. Yes, divorced both times to her manager, Sterling. Hi, Misty. Welcome, welcome. How you doing today? To be fair, he hypothetically could be. I mean, true. I'm doing good. Doing good. Using lots of brain cells today. Using lots of hints from this hint system as well. Very, very tough investigation, but I'm having fun with it. We are digging up some dirt. Lots of tea being spilled. Okay. So we found his name, Sterling. Edison Records versus... Okay. Thomas Edison. Okay. What if... Okay, a website about lawsuits mentions that this is a fun case because the name of the lawsuit was actually the biggest problem for the person being sued. A record producer who called himself Edison was immediately outed as not actually being named Edison. Edsel was a German last name, and at the time of the founding of the company, the U.S. was at war with Germany. The company's founder immediately settled to try to get the case to go away, but the damage was done. Okay, so summoning the motivation to clean. Put the friends on in the background to help. Yes, do it. Enjoy your cleaning lurk. Edsel. Okay. Frank's wife's name. You can find her first name as well as a hint towards her last. It must have always been Williams. You did it. No more hints. We deserve a bubble bath after all that hard work. Okay, so now I should hypothetically be able to decipher all of this based on the information that I have. I don't know about that. Nia is extremely private about her identity and supposedly once used her connections to have a reporter fired for from a rival network and blacklisted. I feel like he's not a root tree. I don't know. This one, I feel pretty strongly about them being root trees because of the vandalism done by Thomas. As a result, I feel pretty confident about this. I don't know how I feel about them. I feel really indifferent. I feel pretty strongly that he's lying, because I feel pretty strongly that they are telling the truth. Okay, should we say that I'm ready? This will end your search and reveal the truth, so make sure you're ready. I think I'm ready. And the ad break is almost over, so it's perfect timing. Perfect timing. Ready, guys? Confirm. The big reveal. Here's the optional entries you found. So many optional entries. Happy about that. Number of optional entries left is 2. Okay, let's see what happens.
Beatrice and Courtney May. Clark, can you swing another test against Bonnie's DNA?
This time I'll be sure to have them verify both samples in person.
1 week later.
Using the family tree you filled out, as well as DNA tests, we were able to uncover the truth behind all the inconsistencies. Clark's handling the business, but I've come to thank you and fill you
me
on
in. Spill the
everything
tea, girl.
we've learned. Buckle up,
Woo!
because it's been one heck of a week. Actually, that's an understatement. It's not every week you discover your family company is being sabotaged by someone they trusted. But that's the kind of time we've been having. Like I said, buckle up.
We'll start with
Maybe grab some popcorn.
we'll
We'll
the
start
guy.
with Guy Hudson. Guy had a frankly ridiculous number of potential children. What shocked me is how many graduated from potential to confirmed. We can even prove he was aware of them.
These were all the
The
confirmed
smoking
ones?
gun was how he used company money to pay off a lot of women.
Well, that's all of them.
He hid it with a method inspired by his idol, Elias.
So was I wrong?
5-piece flavors. The flavors he was paying to research were a ruse. He developed flavors based on the initials of the women he was paying. Which was really stupid, considering one of their names started
really
with
stupid.
eggs.
Yeah, that is really
Let's
stupid.
start with Christine. Guy was paying
Okay, so
her
they
under
were
the
all
name
true.
Caviar.
They were all
But there were
confirmed.
some other clues. James was born 9 months after Zach's party. Christine was there with Guy, and when she got pregnant, she panicked. Steve stepped up. He even turned it into
Yeah,
one of
it
his
does make a
recipe
little more
stories.
sense.
Not all of Guy's affairs led to offspring. He may have slept with Robin Martin, but she didn't have children, so we'll never know. Also, not every child of Guy's affair partners were his. Robert Garland was born after his
Okay.
parents had already moved to Boston.
That makes sense. Okay. And I put both of them as
Beatrice
question
for
marks,
now.
so I feel okay about
Up
that.
next is Lang Xin-yu. When Guy showed up in China, she was into America. And Americans. Dare I say redheads, even? When she got pregnant, her father paid key genes to
Yeah.
fake IVF. They claimed her sister was unable to conceive, but her sister and Jerry had their own son, Mark. Sonia Alves was soon after. Nia was
Surely there's
married
gotta
at
be a better
very
flavor.
young
I
age to a
agree.
much older husband. She resented him. I don't blame her. They allegedly spent no time together in private. Guy was in Brazil during Christmas 1979. It's the only Christmas not in the records. Flavio was born 9 months later. And
Oh.
like the others, Guy started
Okay, so I got
dating
this one
Sonia.
wrong.
Last was Susan Ford.
I'm glad
hired
they're
to
confirming
translate
all
for
this for
Guy's
us because
overseas
I would have
trips.
been
It's easy to read
very
into
in the
Guy's
dark.
donation to her school. but there's no definitive proof there.
Hmm.
She and Guy were witnessed together near the end of his life. Susan's husband was convinced he couldn't be the father of her daughters. Guy, though, paid double. The price of twins.
Okay, so I was right. Okay.
So
I felt pretty
what
strongly about them.
5 Ps? Felix Fellow's mother, Joanna, doesn't have a 5 pieces flavor. On top of that, his story doesn't really add
That's
up.
what I'm saying.
His mother already left the company by the time Guy became president, and his lyrics indicate he was
True.
born sometime around 1975.
Mm-hmm.
Alone, that wouldn't necessarily prove it. But there are some
Tea.
suspicious connections between Felix and the company's
Yes.
current lawyer, Ruby Spratt. They both grew up in Portland, in foster care, and according to the local paper, they definitely knew one another. Ruby was the one who approached the Roottrees to begin with. It was all a setup. Ruby and Felix saw my book's challenge to the Clancet Trust as an opportunity. His mother really had worked for Roottree, and Ruby was a respected lawyer. She exploited my family's greed, worked her way into control of the trust, and ensured Felix got a piece. But they made some mistakes along the way. If you look at the 2 DNA tests that Ruby handled, they were both supposedly tested against Bonnie Hudson.
Right.
But the 2 signatures that should both represent Bonnie don't match.
Oh!
After Clark
I
and
didn't
I
even
confronted
notice that.
her, Ruby lawyered up. Ironic, I know. We
Huh.
suspect Ruby had Donatico test Felix against his own mother's DNA. He had a hairbrush of hers. They sent the female sample in remotely. On the second test, Bonnie's sample was tested locally, but Courtney May's was not.
Oh.
Ruby's been throwing away samples. We think she sent her own hair instead of Courtney May's.
That's
But
very
it could have been
possible.
anyone's. Ruby and Felix were in cahoots.
Mm-hmm.
As for why, they were both advocates of wealth redistribution.
Which is not a problem. Wealth redistribution is arguably very good, and I don't believe billionaires should exist. But the way they went about it, sketchy.
A noble effort. But once they controlled the family fortune,
Yeah.
they became just as
Yeah.
greedy as the
Yep,
worst
yep,
members of my
yep,
family.
Yep.
The money corrupted them. They were so eager to personally wield the wealth for their own cause that they sabotaged any other claims.
Ha. Gotcha.
That finally brings us to Anonymom, aka Beatrice Watts. Her tales of Guy's parties and payoffs were true. She even approached Ruby before 5Ps was on news time. Ruby used Beatrice's truths to make Felix's lies feel real, then ruined the DNA test so that Beatrice looked phony in the public court of opinion. I feel worst for her in all of this.
You know me. Down with capitalism.
While Ruby and Felix stole the show, there were some other potential new family members as well. Miracle Roottree was less of an open and shut case. That said, it's very likely he had a son with Mary Beth Clementine.
Right, that's what I was thinking. I'm not positive that both of them were his kids, but
Not Stuart. Mary Beth
Yeah.
adopted him before she ever set foot in Butler County. That leaves Mark. The timeline fits.
okay.
He showed up about 9 months after Mary
think I
Beth
got this
visited
wrong.
Miracle. If that's not
I
enough
think
on its
I-
own,
Checked them both.
he was also bailed out by the sister of Edith Roottree, Miracle Jr.'s wife,
Okay.
after she changed her name to win that silly contest. Our best guess is that Mark was told by his mother whose son he was, and used that fact to put some pressure on Miracle Jr. We have no real proof of that, but nothing else really makes sense for why they'd be connected in that way.
I'm so shocked. Yeah, okay. This makes sense.
Elias's affair was the most ambiguous.
Yes, it was. It was really hard to
Gwyneth
figure
was
that
able
out.
to coerce Elias to do things he wouldn't have otherwise done, like pressure to include me in the family. My son even mentioned them arguing about someone named Beth. Combined with Gwyneth's lisp, it's possible the name was actually
Oh
Bess.
my god. I did not even put that together. I did not even put that together.
All we know about Bess Williams is that she wrote
that makes so much sense. I was like, how did Beth fit into all
leaving
this?
her only son an orphan. The timeline fits with Wildcat, but there's no record if she had any other relationship. I wouldn't be surprised if Elias cheated. Of course, I'm a bit biased. Regardless, we haven't gotten in touch with any of the Williams clan yet. That means we haven't been able to do a DNA test. As Clark mentioned, from here on out, all of our DNA tests will be in person for both parties.
Smart. I don't remember what I marked. I think that I gave him a question mark.
Lastly, we have a bit of a curveball.
Yeah.
Ron Roottree isn't related to us by blood.
Okay.
Gwyn was definitely pregnant, so it's likely Robbie is. When Ron and Robbie went to visit their mother
she was
at the end of her
pregnant.
life,
I didn't even...
something changed. Additionally, there have been a few rumors circling around Ron. RR Productions canceled the Guys Like Us remake due to the director's illness.
Yeah.
At the same time, Ron's wife Penelope began doing benefits for Huntington's disease, stating that she had become familiar with it. Huntington's is the same disease that Gwyn's former co-star Leslie Florence had. It's passed from parent to child. It can't skip a generation. Because Gwyn and Wild Bill didn't have Huntington's, and Ron seems to, it's impossible Gwyn was his mother. I recently confirmed all this with Ron. At the end of her life, Gwyn told Ron the story. Leslie and Bill had an affair the same year Leslie learned she had Huntington's. Leslie got pregnant. Leslie wasn't likely to survive to see her child grow up. And even if she did, she didn't want to be a burden. She begged Gwyn and Wild Bill to adopt her child. Gwyn did. Mere weeks after she found out she was having her own son, she also took in Ron.
It's very sad.
Wild Bill was a problem. Unreliable and a serial adulterer. Gwyn divorced him and never saw him again.
As you should, Queen.
Gwyn had already told Starlet she was pregnant, so it never really made waves when people saw her with a child in Paris. There was gossip during her divorce when she was discovered to be pregnant again. In actuality, it was the final months of her only pregnancy. To lay low, she stayed in Paris long enough that even her own family never had reason to question the timeline. It's one heck of a story, and frankly, nobody could be expected to piece the timeline together. Not with what few mentions of Gwyn's past have survived. But the Huntingtons itself? That's proof.
Okay, so I got you correct, but not you.
Ron suing Robbie to remove him from the Clancid Trust was a huge moment in my story, and a major catalyst for this entire investigation. Finding out that it's been pretty much backwards this whole time has been a bit surreal. So that's where we're at. Looking over the information you sent us was useful. Without your tree, I'm not sure we would have ever discovered Ruby. All this information, this entire story, it's a lot. In more ways
It is a
than
lot.
one. Some of it has the potential to destroy marriages and ruin relationships.
And the medical bills.
We're handling it all very, very carefully. But we couldn't have gotten here without you. And with that, I guess our tale has truly come to an end.
Wow.
What a strange one it was. No words can express how grateful I am to you for untangling this mess.
No words can express how grateful I am to the rubber ducky in the bottom of my screen for getting me through this mess.
Honestly, I've had enough of my family's eccentricities and scandals for one lifetime. I imagine you have as well. And if not, well, there's always Elias's and Gwyneth's brothers and sisters.
Attention.
Ooh! Wow.
This is 5-piece coming at you from the real world.
5-piece coming at you.
Place you ain't never lived in.
Roottrees 3? Oh, I don't know. But for now, it's goodbye. It is goodbye to YouTube. YouTube, thanks so much for being here. If you'd like to see me live sometime, you can find me on Twitch. This music is so distracting. There's a link in the video description that you can click on and follow me over here to get notifications about when I go live. Or You can continue watching me through the VODs on YouTube by subscribing to this channel. And either way, no matter what you decide, I love you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.